morning, everyone. You are listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. Our show is sponsored by Marzipan Bakery, where one taste is all it takes. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Naomi Nachman, and I'm about all the food all the time. I love food. I love shopping for it, cooking it, eating at restaurants, anything food related. I'm a kosher personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet. I cater for people for Shabbos, Yom Tov. Anytime you don't feel like cooking, you can give me a call. Hope you'll tune in every week and hear about my exciting guests, my kosher food traveling, and just recipes and chit chat we have all week long. But I want to hear from you too. So email me, Naomi@nachumsegal.com. You can join my fan page on Facebook. You can join me on Instagram, Twitter, and also have my newsletter through my website. So if you have a food experience, if you eat it, share it. That's what I always like to say. We have an action-packed show. I know I always say that, but really action-packed. Okay, so let's talk about all these exciting things. As we spoke about last week and the week before that, I'm going on Miriam's Legacies Kosher Tours, which is so exciting. I'm going to be going to Thailand, Vietnam, and Singapore, where I'll be doing cooking classes. I cannot wait. Actually know quite a bit about Thai cooking because, Thailand's near Australia. So if you haven't heard me say that again, I'm going to keep shouting it from the rooftops to get to cook one of my favorite cuisines. But we have a giveaway. So what Miriam has offered listeners to our show is if you have been with Miriam on the tour before, you can also participate this, and you get to double your prize as well. You'll get double the amount. So that's really awesome. You get two $250 gift certificates to the grocery store of your choice. If you email us, you can be in it to win it. Your name will be drawn out of a hat. We take all those email addresses, and one of you will win it and get to join us on the tour. So that is a really exciting prize. So you'll be hearing a little bit more about my upcoming trip to Thailand, Vietnam, and Singapore. Believe it or not, I'd never actually been there before, considering it's like right above Australia, a little over to the right, I guess, but still very exciting. And also we have our continued Kitchen Click giveaway. We're going to have a little segment in a minute. Our Naomi's Kitchen Gadgets, sponsored by our friends at Kitchen Click. Fraggy, unfortunately, could not make it. The owner of Kitchen Click, so she sent in some amazing items, and I'm going to be talking with Melinda Strauss about it from Kitchen Tested. So remember, we have our Instagram giveaway. If you want to be part of the giveaway, all you have to do is go to Kitchen Click on Instagram and hit like, and of course hit like to Naomi Nachman, and you will win. I'm just for those of you who are not on Instagram, you can email me to try to be in it. I'm just looking for the description of what. Okay, I cannot find it, but you can have a look and join here. You can win from the Instagram page a Lucite round cake holder, a springform pan, a crepe pan, a flour sifter, measuring cups, a calzone crepe lach press, flour wine markers, or you can use them also for napkin rings, egg beaters, and pie pot makers. That will be in a beautiful prize that you can win on Instagram. Just go to Instagram and you'll have a look. If you don't have Instagram, I described it to you, and then you can email me, Naomi@nachumsegal.com to be in it also. So, wow, that was a lot to say. Okay, so we had a lot of stuff going on the last couple of weeks. We had the food truck 2 weeks ago, and then we had Josh Masson from Nobo in the show, and so much going on. Melinda Strauss was on the show. So, I had to have her come back on the show again because we got stuff to talk about. So, and meanwhile, let's do our little our segment right off the bat for Naomi's Kitchen Gadgets, sponsored by Kitchen Click, because there is so much to say. We have an action-packed show, as I said, because I've got, I didn't even tell you I have. Besides Melinda, I have Michelle Gindy from Buddha Bowls and Burpees. She's going to be making us a delicious breakfast/lunch. We're very excited about that. And Chaya Suri Leitner from Spice and Zest. So we're going to have a big lunch this morning. We are super excited. ZK's always happy, right? When I bring him food. I got your back, man, right? Okay. Hey, Mel, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
We have so much to catch up on and share with our listeners.
I know. It's been a week since we talked. Really, we talk every day, let's be honest.
Okay,
since I've been on the show, it's been a week. It's
right.
Totally fine.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming back. But I wanted Melinda to make the announcement today about Kosher Food Media Conference. So why don't we do that, and then let's go straight into our segment.
Sure. Well, we talked about it a little while ago, the Jewish Food Media Conference, which used to be the Kosher Food Bloggers Conference. It's on, and it's going to be on November 13th, the day before Kosher Fest. This is always when we do the conference, because we want people who are coming in for Kosher Fest to add an extra day, and it's Monday, and they can come in for the conference as well. It's for people who are on Instagram. It's for anybody who's a social media influencer. So Instagram, Twitter, if you have a website, anything like that, where you're influencing people in the Jewish food world. So everybody like that is going to be invited, and I post information on Instagram about it.
And why the change from blogger to media?
Well, because it used to be that there were just bloggers out there. Especially, it's funny, I feel old saying it, but when we started blogging, or when I started blogging 6.5 years ago, I can't remember, there was no Instagram. There was literally just Facebook and Twitter. And now there's this huge world of people who are starting their own blogs, but not through a website, but just through Instagram. And I'll be honest, when it first started happening, I was a little confused. Is it a blog? Is it not a blog? But I realized that you can easily have a blog just through Instagram.
You can have a website blog, an Instagram blog, a Twitter.
You're developing
blog.
Recipes. Yeah. I wouldn't say that Twitter is a blog.
Yeah, because you can only use like 40 letters or something.
Yeah, but with Instagram, it is a blog. It's an opportunity to share your recipes, share beautiful photos, tell your stories through Insta stories. So it's a blog. And I realized that there's so much more out there than just kosher food blogs, those actual words. And it got confusing. And I wanted it to be open to anybody who's influencing people in our universe.
People have YouTube channels of kosher videos.
Yeah, and that's where they live. And I love those YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to make them myself. If anyone wants to help me, just let me know. But yeah, so that's why we changed it.
Okay, I think it's absolutely fantastic. So if you are interested in starting something, or you already have something, I've met so many amazing friends. Chaya Suri and I met through the back then, the kosher food bloggers. I met so many friends in the industry, and we've done nothing but help each other. And it's amazing, get together. And then we go into Kosher Feast, and we're going to have Esti Berkowitz come on in a week or two when she gets back. She's going to Israel or something. We'll catch up with Esti after her trip and to hear how her trip was.
Right.
But also, because, she's got to do the Foodie Israel tour. But she's also going to fill us in about Kosher Feast. So thanks, Mel, for that big announcement.
Sure.
And we look forward. So how can people find out a bit more info?
So we actually just built a new website thanks to Yosef Silver from This American Bite.
Oh, great blog.
He's amazing and so talented, and he built the website. And he's so talented. And it's jewishfoodmedia.com.
Okay, so
and everything you need is on there. Our Instagram account, everything you can find there.
Okay, so join up, follow up, get your info, and it'll keep you updated.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody knows that Mel and I do a lot of work together.
Just a little.
Just a little bit of work together. A frequent guest on the show. She's always good to talk food with, and she's very engaging. And I just want to say she's lost tons of weight. She's very inspirational. So you want to just tell me how you did that?
Yeah.
I know how, but just in 30 seconds, tell everyone.
I could probably do it in less. I am a Take Shape for Life health coach, not just a food blogger and a photographer and all those other fun things, but a health coach as well. So that's how I lost the weight, and that's also how I help other people lose the weight.
Well, you look amazing.
Thank
so
you.
I'm sure people will reach out to you after hearing this, because she's, around food all the time, so it's hard. So we're also going to hear a lot more from a lot of people today about just being healthy and, eating delicious food. Okay, so let's talk about, so as we were saying, Melinda it does a lot of baking with me. She helped me so much with my book. And I thought this would be a great time, to go over some of the kitchen gadgets that Fagi and Fagi Sprecher sent in from Kitchen Click, because I think, Shavuos is coming up. It's cheesecake season.
Yes,
so here is
nice.
I'm going to tell everyone, we have to share with everyone. You should do there is a deluxe 10-inch tempered glass base springform pan. So I think this is really cool because, for those of you who are watching on the Nachum Siegelnet YouTube channel, you can see it's a springform pan, which I'll take out of the box, but it has a glass bottom.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that, Mel?
I actually have one at home. I love it because when you take off the sides, when you take off the springform part and you pull it out, you can actually serve right on the glass. So it's really pretty. So it doesn't have to, a lot of times transferring after you've baked something, especially a cheesecake, can be really difficult. So having
Okay.
So you can serve right on that.
Cool.
Yeah. Actually, this one's really nice because mine it's tempered, but has a little bit of a texture to it. I really love that this is totally clear.
I've never actually seen something like this. So that's a great idea. If you are going to make, if you are a newbie to cheesecakes, pick up a springform pan.
Have you ever tried sliding a cake off of a springform? It's
so annoying.
Not always so easy. And then I can't remember who it was recently. Someone was making a crust first in the springform and the whole crust broke. Possibly, I don't know if she was moving it, but it happens. So being able to just keep it on the glass and then put it on your cake tray.
Love it.
Love it. It's so nice.
So I'm holding up now one of these, I don't know how to describe it.
It's a tray.
It's a tray that you use your pot, you make your, let's talk shavuos, your baked ziti. You make it in a 8x8 pan or a 9x13 pan, because I know these come in different shapes and sizes.
Your zucchini ravioli.
Right, exactly. Right, from the book even.
Yeah,
from
it's from
Perfect
the book.
for Pesach,
Yeah.
from Mel's blog. And you bake it in the either the glass Pyrex dish or the foil pan, and you don't want to put that on the table. So you slip it into one of these holders, which makes it all pretty. So they have handles and they are heat resistant, and they have like vents on the bottom. So it aerates the food. So these are really cool. I really like this. So if you are watching on the channel, this is something definitely cool to pick up. We are doing our best to describe everything here because these are fabulous items, and there is nothing better than a brand new crepe pan.
We know who loves crepes. Naomi Nachman.
Okay, over Pesach, we made thousands of blintzes and crepes. So my egg lokshen recipe, or my blintz Pesach, is in the book, but I should post on my website, because I'm trying to post more on the blog, is my regular crepe recipe. Now, the thing about crepes is you got to use a pan that you only wash with water, soap, and your hand. Don't wreck the bottom of the pan by using a hard brush, right? Like, just keep it really clean and scratch free, and that way you get perfect crepes all the time. What else have we got there, Mel?
Okay, well, we do have this board here, which I assume that we're using as a cheese board, which is a great start to everything else we have.
Especially with shavuos.
Yes, and we have this gorgeous cheese knife that what you would do is actually leave it out with your cheese board with all the cheeses, and people can slice it right off. So it's a very cool knife. I don't really know how to describe it. And there's a cheese slicer. We've got a knife, a slicer, which people use for truffles as well. I don't know if anybody's buying truffles, but a lot of people use them.
Which is a cousin of a mushroom, which costs a lot of money, not the chocolate.
I'm sure you could find them at
and here's a wire cheese slicer. Oh, this actually comes with replacement wires. Oh, that's very cool. I've never seen something like that.
No, that's really
neat.
It's
good. And here for the cheese board, a little like toothpick thing. So
and they're really
this is everything you need for a cheese board.
And they're bamboo, so they're really pretty. So they make everything look a little bit nicer when you're serving it.
And Mel is all about how it looks as well.
I used those on Thanksgiving when you came.
Yeah.
I did.
I like these.
They're beautiful.
And Natural and Kosher has little cubes now of cheese. So that's really good. It's already pre-cut up, so you can just stick one of these things in on your board, on your wooden board. It looks so gourmet.
I have the Munster in my fridge right now. Their Munster is amazing. When you have the little bites, you just pop one and or throw them in your salad. They're great.
Okay,
Okay, so we'll keep going. So we also have this really interesting, it's called a 2-drum etched rotary grater set. So it says that it's good for, what does it say at the top?
Cheese and chocolate.
I think that's so interesting.
Includes Parmesan and coarse blades. Okay, there's a Parmesan grater. It's actually called a Parmesan grater setting.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm really interested in the chocolate setting on it because I usually just use a really sharp knife for my chocolate, and it's exhausting. If I get one of those big blocks of chocolate, so it's really interesting. I'd be curious to use that to grate chocolate, put on top of cakes and to have some fun with. It'd be beautiful. And really on a cheese board, chocolate on a cheese board is just outrageous.
Yeah, so. Chocolate and goat cheese is amazing. I'm so just saying.
Yeah.
And finally, we have a, what do you call this?
What would you call this?
We call this.
It's like a mini bundt pan, I guess.
mini bundt pan, silver foil pan holder.
It's beautiful.
No. This is a flour mini muffin pan.
Muffin pan. But you know what I would do? I would melt chocolate and pour it into these and and then fill it with like caramel or peanut butter and then top it with more chocolate. But that's where I would go.
But I would fill this with mini cheesecakes.
Oh, that'd be really, well, it might be difficult to get out. Oh, yeah, so it pops out.
But you have to spray it really well. Just spray those pans, those pretty bundt pans. This is really heavy.
Look at the roses, too.
So they have roses and daffodils or something. They're very pretty.
I don't know my flowers.
What?
Jello.
Jello.
Are you saying Jello shots like with vodka? Is that where we're going with this? So I'm okay with that.
ZK's giving us cooking tips. Thank you, ZK. After
been here a while.
listening to 100 shows. He's the only one that's forced to listen. You can pause me, turn me off, but he's got to be here. Okay, cool. Thanks, Mel, for going through all that cool stuff. Thank you, Faggy, from Frankie Specher from Kitchen Click for bringing the stuff into the show. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and do the giveaway. We're very excited about that. All right, our next guest is Michelle Gindy from Buddha Bowls and Burpees. We are so excited to have you on the show. We met a couple months ago at the Chalabake.
Yes, that was a great one.
That was great. The Friday Chalabake. Welcome, Michelle. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I follow you. I love everything that you do.
Well, I love everything that you do, and I'm a big salad eater.
Okay, great.
So this is, when I first met you, I'm like, what's a Buddha bowl? What's a burpee? And then you told me, and then it all connected. When I used to go to the gym once upon a time, a burpee is a...
Right, so...
You explain better than me.
Yeah, so...
You walk us through your name. How about that?
Yeah, definitely. I've been doing Instagram for a little bit of time. I've been healthy for about 5 years. Before that, I had a bunch of health-related issues that I was working through. And I found that eating whole, fresh ingredients was really the key for me, not only to lose weight, but just to feel my best, get energy and stuff like that. And when it came up to thinking of a name for the brand and have something fun on Instagram, I just one day casually said, Buddha Bowls and Burpees, because it sounded funny. And didn't think much of it beyond that. I didn't open up a company yet till afterwards. And people came up to me, what does it mean? So there's two kinds of people that came up to me. There was these really slick people who knew exactly what a Buddha Bowl and a burpee was and like, I love that name. It's the most like intense, go ahead, kind of strong, healthy ways of thinking about things. And there's the other people who said, I don't know what a Buddha Bowl is and I don't know what a burpee is. So what a Buddha Bowl is basically is just a nicely arranged bunch of vegetables, grains, legumes. You could put nuts and seeds. And the fun thing about it is you can put anything you want in the world. There's actually zero restrictions other than like something from a fast food joint because it's not a whole food. So anything that's
whole
fresh, anything that you love is what goes into a Buddha Bowl. The name of it actually comes because it gets so big when you pick everything you like that it has like the rounded belly of Buddha because it's like such a big salad. So that's what a Buddha Bowl is. A burpee.
It's a term of art in the cooking world, Buddha Bowl?
It's actually a big health foodie type of term. You would see it at like a local vegan restaurant. You would see it at some macrobiotic restaurants. You'll see it around. It gained traction since I named it. I was maybe a little bit early to the name.
Woohoo!
More people more people know about it now than before. It also gives me like that Zen feeling. I have a lot of like wellness tips unrelated to food that I'm very into, like meditation, yoga practice.
I saw that a lot on your website.
So yes, my blog is way more than food. It's giving somebody a whole lifestyle of health and wellness. There's tons of recipes, don't get me wrong, but it goes beyond that. And it's like, how can I make somebody's life happier, have their kids thriving and well, have their whole family in a place of health.
It's this health too. Like they're all nodding. Melinda and Chaisara are nodding. ZK's like, yeah, healthy.
Well, I know the moms get it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, ZK gets it too. We keep him out. He has to listen to this. He, it's good headspace. Like it's one thing for your body, but your brain's got to be healthy.
So after I worked on my food a lot, I started to realize there was this whole other component. There was this whole mind body. There was this whole, how do we interact with our family? How do we feed our kids? There was this whole other aspect that I was missing. My kids were very little. They were babies at the time when I started, and it was all about myself, and I was all about having a mom take care of herself, make sure she was eating her whole foods, but then slowly but surely my clients, I did open a health coaching practice afterwards. They started asking me, well, what about my kids? Should they be eating whole foods? What should they be doing? Should they be meditating? So on my blog, in addition to the recipes and kid-friendly recipes, there's a section right up there called Kids Health, where we talk about not only great recipes, foods. I'm very into allergy-friendly ideas. One of my daughters did have severe allergies as a baby, which was kind of how she
What was
helped
she
me
allergic
into
to?
that. All eggs, nuts, and seeds.
So hard when the babies are allergic to nuts. To eggs.
Was a tough one, but she was like one of my biggest motivators to learn how to do things another way. You know, like I had previously said, okay, you know, I'm used to doing it this way, or this is the way my mother did it, or I could buy this from the store. All of a sudden, all those options were out the window. So I learned to really cook because I had to. You know, I had to learn how to not use eggs in certain things, or things I was used to had to be changed up. And I think that she's the one that really made me the foodie that I am. You know, 100%, no question.
Well, and has she overcome her allergies? Like a lot of kids outgrow it.
Some of them are outgrown, and some are being tested, and some are hopefully one day.
Yeah. One of my best friends, her son was allergic to like so many things. Right. And it kind of whittled away as he got older, but some things he's just still stuck with.
So, yeah.
And he's still nervous to eat some of the things he's outgrown. Like the kids, they have it ingrained in them. So it's hard to say, okay, you can eat it now, but I thought it was going to kill me before.
Right. There's a stress that we put on our kids, especially my daughter was a very little baby when we found out she had allergies. There's a stress that we put on them. Hey, you can't have this. Hey, you can't have this. And a lot of what I talk about also is how to eliminate stress in kids' lives, you know, through a little bit of meditation. I do fun yoga with them on YouTube.
I love that.
Everything I offer
oh my God,
is
my Leora will love that.
Yes. So I have a huge resource guide. I do workshops all around schools, like as a volunteer and also paid for privately, where I talk about the resources that easy tips that are free that moms can do to make their kids stress-free, you know, to make their kids start to learn to eat healthy foods, to like healthy foods. I'm very passionate about kids' health. You know, I'm really looking at helping schools out, helping moms out. So that's where like my daughter's own allergies really came into my whole practice.
Amazing. Do you have a background in health and nutrition? Did you go to school for that?
That's funny.
Or it's just something you grew into? Like people say, did you go to chef school? I said, I went 2 years ago, I went for 4 weeks and I took a ton of courses.
Okay.
But I don't have a certification, you know.
Right. So,
but I know a lot about food.
This is a very funny question. I talk about it in high school sometimes when they talk about career paths. I went to Cardozo Law School right after
Oh my God, she's
college.
a lawyer. Another lawyer gone chef.
Graduated the bar. I passed the bar.
That's huge. My husband's a lawyer. I know what it was like to pass that bar.
Right, yeah. So anybody out there that knows about passing the bar, it's a huge deal. I did work for a while, but I didn't see enough passion in it. Whereas once I started to get on the road to health, I graduated from the nutrition school, Institute for Integrative Nutrition online. It's a year-long, amazing course. Along with that, I had done one after one cooking classes, learning healthy cuisine, vegan cuisine, just fresh ingredients. So I did do a lot of individual cooking classes with chefs that I liked. I did a lot with kosher chefs because I felt like I needed that, you know, to come into Manhattan and not have that ability to see kosher ingredients wasn't something that worked for me. So I did do a lot of cooking courses. I did a lot of health courses online. And that's where I really got most of the gist of the cooking stuff. And the one thing I want to tell everybody out there is you can be a home chef and rock it. There is no need for anything other than that.
Melinda Fayasuri and I, the four of us are home chefs.
And that's all that you need. You need to think about what your family likes, shop for what they like, think of interesting ways to put it together. There's no need to be a fancy chef these days or be gourmet. There's so many websites, blogs, you know, everybody here is writing amazing recipes. You go on those, you check it out. Soon you'll be developing your own. You write them down, and that's all it takes.
Oh, you make it sound so simple. It is a lot of work. Right. But I think I always say talk about you finding your own inner chef, and then straight into the mic. There's
Once you get into it, it's part of routine. That's what I find.
Right. The Chaya Suri is joining us, Spice and Zest. I think it's great. So show us how one would make a Buddha bowl. We've got a whole bunch of stuff in front of us. I'm completely blown away by you. I love whole foods. Just give us a quick description because I have a lot of listeners who might not be. What does a whole food mean? A whole tomato?
Right.
Like what is a whole?
Let's talk about what a whole
food is because I think we have a misconception of what it is.
I absolutely agree with you. What I like to call whole foods are things that can be fresh. If something can be considered fresh, it's a whole food. So, for example, if you're taking something out of your refrigerator, if it's anything that you would, let's say, marinate or saute, or something that gives you flavor, if you want something that's, let's say, a bean or a legume, that comes out of a can. That's not necessarily a fresh ingredient, but it's still a healthful ingredient. The basics of the Buddha bowl that has whole foods in it is definitely greens. Greens is something that I think everybody can't get enough of. There's
Right.
so much nutrition in it. So no matter how you get your greens, pick the ones you like, whether you like them cooked or raw, it's all good. Here, in case you can see it, it's some kale that I have just massaged very, very lightly with a little bit of oil.
Okay, I was going to ask how you did that. So you put a little bit of olive oil and you literally you know how you massage someone's shoulders? You're going to massage the kale.
So
with
yeah,
your
you get
finger.
really into it. Get a little intense for about 2-3 minutes. That's all it would take. On the side, I like to add a bunch of different greens. I think variety is key, especially if this is going to be your entire lifestyle. Because if you stick with the same 3 vegetables, you're not going to last very long.
Right.
This is like my 5th year really working on the Buddha Bowl concept and the Whole Foods concept. So I always am changing it up. I'm thinking about fresh seasonal ingredients.
Fresh and seasonal. That's
the best quality.
my
you can
magic
find.
words. I joined a CSA. Do you do a CSA?
Not yet, because I don't know where to go in Brooklyn. So if somebody
Okay.
wants to reach out to me, I need that information.
Okay, good. I have one out on Long Island, so
Okay.
it's a bit of a pain from
right.
Brooklyn. But okay,
yeah, definitely that's something that I'm looking
so
at.
let's
doing.
create our Buddha Bowl. We get to
So-
eat this?
Oh, absolutely.
Woohoo!
What I brought in,
Okay.
and so with the Buddha Bowl, I like a variety of cooked and raw vegetables. I like different colors and different textures. I think that's one of the most important things to make it exciting. What makes a salad in a restaurant exciting? It's the fact that there's different things than you would normally see in a salad.
Correct.
So same idea, only I make it at home, and I know it's fresh and delicious.
She has this cute little lunchbox, by the way, like a
yes.
divider. Tomatoes, that's my favorite food
I'm
in
going
the
to
whole
put
wide
in
world.
some fresh tomatoes. Here's some golden beets.
Raw
Those
They're
are my
raw.
favorite,
I have no
favorite.
problem if you also like to roast them, bake them, steam them, but I do like the taste of them raw.
Yeah, me
So
too.
sweet.
They're delicious. Yeah, this time of year it's great.
So, for those of you who are watching, she's actually not just throwing it in. Michelle's placing them nicely in sections
Yes.
across the top,
So-
almost like those ramen noodle balls, like when you make those.
So
and we
why
could take pretty pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is it important to place it instead of throw it and toss it? It's because if we're taking care of yourself, you should take the 2 seconds it takes to make your food look nice. I do this at home. Nobody's watching. Sometimes I don't even Instagram it, you know?
What? If you don't Instagram it, it's like you never made it.
Right. So, yeah,
Right,
sometimes
everyone?
you just have to catch my stories, you know? Here's some purple potatoes.
Yeah, even putting potatoes, she's not saying no carbs.
No. Oh, so that's a good question. Should we be carb free? You know, there's a big
Hashem made
movement
carbs
these
for a
days.
reason.
It is a whole food.
Right, Chayasuri?
And whole foods are
Sourdough
things.
bread. Aw.
Sourdough
without
bread
that.
is one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh, good. You're up next, Chayasuri.
So here's the purple potatoes. I did use some raw peppers right
You know, we
here.
call peppers in Australia capsicums.
Oh, cool.
I do not eat capsicums. We'll have to take
We
those
will
out for
remove
me.
those. These are
Naomi
steamed
hates
carrots. But you can definitely also do raw. I have over here a little bit of quinoa with some basil pesto.
Oh, cool. But you would put both in. You would make a Buddha bowl with potatoes and quinoa? Because I talk about doubling up on the carb.
So, yeah, I think that quinoa is still a whole food. The sweet potatoes are a whole food. We're not looking to eliminate carbs. We're not using so much refined carbs here. You can see everything
What's
is
a refined carb?
refined carb is something that's white flour, white rice. Everything here is very full of nutrients and antioxidants, and that's where the key is. It's not how
Say
much.
it's not about the calories. Is that true?
Oh, so I'm a big person that agrees with it's not about the calories ever, because whole foods, you know, like for instance, I eat an avocado every single day, and people would go crazy about the amount of fat in that.
Oh, my God. I would like to look like you.
But yeah,
You look amazing.
I made,
with
I
an
made
avocado.
a sweet potato topped with quinoa and avocado the other day
Okay.
for dinner.
So I said, Chayasuri, that's a lot of carbs.
Right. So I think that like we need to get out of that idea of eliminating and restricting and into the idea of enjoying ourselves.
Right.
Do you think that also qualifies for
No olives.
weight loss? And not to say that you're taking carbs out, because I'm a diabetic who believes in carbs.
Okay.
It's just moderation.
Right.
But when you're losing weight, I find that it's very different than maintaining your weight. And I'm wondering if eliminating not all carbs, but meaning in that bowl, you don't have like a heap of quinoa and a heap of potatoes. It's
Right.
it's a moderate amount balanced together. And that's where I
Yes.
feel like a whole sweet potato topped with quinoa is a lot of carbs.
Right.
But a little sweet potato with some quinoa as part of a bigger dish can help with if we're talking weight loss particularly.
Right. So the thing is, I don't really talk much about weight loss. Clients do come to me like looking for weight loss as one of the goals. We look at a holistic approach, which is a whole body, whole lifestyle. And I do take weight loss seriously when clients need it. So we can refine what needs to get done. In this instance, like some of us may love carbs more than others. So I did add the quinoa and the potatoes. Other people may not be vegan. They may be putting in eggs or a piece of tuna, a piece of salmon. I love tempeh. I use it.
I need to learn more about tempeh.
I was going to actually bring it, and I said, "Is that too funky for you?"
I would eat just about anything. Nothing's too funky.
So now
Wait,
I know.
No, I would eat the pepper if I had to, but no yogurt.
Okay.
No yogurt ever. I want to love it.
Right.
I know it's so good for you. I just smell, taste, texture.
Yeah, and we all have that. Don't worry.
Everyone's got something. Okay, so we have
So I put
in our bowl avocado, carrots, peppers, tomatoes, yellow beets. Pomegranates are going in now. Purple potatoes and grilled mini zucchinis. That looks divine. Oh my gosh, ZK.
Naomi, is that zucchini or courgette?
No, I call it zucchini. Courgette is more British, I think they would say that.
Courgette is a zucchini? It's just,
Yeah. Like capsicum is really a pepper. Like it's all under the capsicum family. Okay, so this is our dressing.
So that's where we can really have even more fun.
Ooh.
Again, the idea is less of the idea of restricting, more of the idea of enjoying yourself. So I did bring along some regular traditional tahini, which I feel like goes with kale very well. But then I kind of souped it up with some turmeric and spices and made like a turmeric spiced tahini sauce that we could drizzle over at the top. And I feel like that's, again, another thing. You may see it in a restaurant and say, oh my God, I need to get that. But people should know that they can make this at home. It's like in the 5 minutes you looked at it, most of it was like, took me maybe, the zucchini took 10 minutes to prepare, the quinoa another 10, 15 minutes along with the pesto.
You know what I do in advance? I mean, I hope a lot of people at home do this, and I'm very big on Friday before Shabbos when I'm cooking. I actually prepare a lot of vegetables for the week, for the beginning of the week.
You did that on Instagram last week.
Yeah, so I do
it was
leeks,
great.
and I love leeks and fennel, and I roast it, and I roast zucchini, and I roast mushrooms, and spaghetti squash, and I keep it in my house. So it's already done. That Buddha bowl is literally 2 minutes because all the food's already prepared.
Yeah. So one of the biggest reasons people actually follow me on Instagram is because I do a massive meal prep. Nice. Once a week, I get in the kitchen and I get it done.
I started doing that,
amazing.
And I find it really helps.
It's life-changing.
Yes.
I coach people on how to prep their own houses, how to schedule their meals, how to plan their family's whole meals, because I saw that that's where people were going wrong. Michelle, it's too much. It's overwhelming. Somebody who may see this say, I can never do it. Except for if you did if you did a lot of things at the same time, you can easily get this done, and then you arrange it as needed, as many days a week as you want, because that one day is where you have everything set up. So a lot of my resources.
I'm like, I want to steal the bowl.
Take the bowl.
Take
We're going to eat it. We're going to eat
you and have fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope that people like this kind of cuisine. I do get some people who follow me on Instagram and say, I can never eat a salad, but yours still looks so good. So that's like a big compliment.
Right. They're eating through their eyes.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I'm a big believer in that. Okay. I just want to tell everyone what's going on in the studio right now. Melinda and Chaya Suri, who are wonderful food photographers, so super talented, jumped up, grabbed the bowl, and are taking photos. My amazing engineer, ZK, is getting us some forks and plates because I totally forgot we needed those. Thank you, ZK. You're going to get first. Okay? Can we load ZK up with a plate of healthy vegetables?
We're not done yet.
We're not done yet? Wait, don't touch the bowl till the photography session is done.
I'm so happy you guys like it.
Oh my God. I knew when I had the three of you in on this show that it was going to be rocking. Right, guys? Let's make this interactive. I know that everyone's listening to the show and, a lot of people follow my Instagram stories. I love when people email me and let me know what's going on. Tell me how much you've learned from Michelle today, because I am completely blown away by
Thank you.
what you do and how you've changed. And, were you a good eater when you were a kid?
So I always tell the story in the beginning of a workshop. There was always that 6-year-old kid that would only eat noodles, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
I
noodles
think I know
with
some of
margarine,
those.
no less.
Noodles with margarine? Oh.
Your mom didn't believe in butter at those days.
Yeah.
It was
Butter is better.
right. So I basically ate cereal or noodles for a good portion of my life. But then I started to be the Weight Watchers person and the nutritionist person, the person that would go to all these things trying to find how to be healthy. And it was only when I started to learn about it myself that I was able to actually make these changes. And the whole foods approach and like the health food idea is really where I believe it's at.
Yeah. And you know, you're in this at the right time, you know. 10 years ago, 15 years ago might have been over everyone's head, but everyone's so into food right now. Everyone's a foodie. My 9-year-old's a foodie.
I can't believe how the world changed from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, when I had started this, nobody knew what I was talking about. Nobody knew what a whole foods plant-based diet even was. And my husband used to make fun of me. He's like, you're the only one that would say, you know, plant-based. Nobody's ever heard of that term before. But that term has blown up. People have realized that fresh ingredients is where it's at, no matter what your diet is. You know, I know paleo people, I know vegan people, I know every type of diet that there is, but something that's going to bring fresh ingredients into your house is something that's needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're ready to eat now. How should we do this? we're gonna have a little fresh
It
fest
might
in the
get a
studio.
little messy in the studio right now.
Okay, we'll be good. You know what? Miriam Wallach, our general manager of the studio, is a vegetarian and she loves to eat healthy and salad. She would totally love this.
Oh, so this one's for you, Miriam.
Okay, so
Anyone not like avocado?
no, we'll eat. ZK even eats avocado.
Just don't forget to take out the peppers for Naomi.
Yeah, she was going to put olives in. I said no olives. Mel doesn't do
Yay.
olives.
I do hate olives.
Right, yeah. So the good thing about this is you really take what you want. You
I'll
take
eat the
out
peppers,
what you
though.
want.
Yeah, you can eat the peppers. You
I'm
know
all
what?
over the peppers.
Why don't you guys switch a little bit so I can bring Chaya Suri here? You can. Mel will help you load up the plates for lunch.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Do I not have the best job? The best job. I am so grateful. Thanks, Nachum and Miriam, for having me here all the time, for hiring me, for finding me. Because let me tell you, I love what I do. I love working for Nachum and Miriam. The Nachum Segal Network is. I do so many crazy things between the chop competitions and the food writing and all the amazing traveling. And one of my favorite things to do is be here every week with ZK and just chat about food. Because, you know, no matter what you do in life, so long as you are excited about what you do, right? I guess this goes back to having sound mind. Get up in the morning and love what you do, right? Michelle?
Definitely. I agree with that.
I've had jobs that made me kind of sad and want to get up, like I've got to go to work. And sometimes you do it because that's your job and you don't have a choice. But, you know, if you can find that passion, you know, and follow your dreams. I sound so, oh my gosh.
No, but it's true. Having gratitude for what you get to do, what you love is something that's so important. And like I start every morning by some things that I'm like grateful for. You know, so
every morning when I daven, I promise you, I daven with a ganze heart. So am I saying that right in Yiddish? With my whole heart, because I feel very blessed by what I do every day. If you guys are making stuff from my cookbook after Pesach, can you also email me and let me know? Because I'm getting a lot of emails from people. Thanks to you, it's so good. Okay, so Chaya Suri's here. Chaya Suri and I met through the Kosher Food Bloggers Conference, which is now called the Jewish Food Media. Yay, Mel, I got it right. And we became fast friends. You know, we're at different stages of life, but, you know, we have, you know, once you're married and have kids, right, everyone kind of like evens out a little bit. And, you know, it's funny. She actually knows my brother and sister-in-law in Brooklyn. So it's like one of those really small worlds. So thank you so much for coming on. And she has her gorgeous little baby sleeping in the corner. But the other babies she bought are her breads. You were on the show about a year ago, I want to say. You came on with Razy?
Yes.
Because I think we just had it came up as a Facebook memory.
Right. It was exactly a year ago.
So, yeah, I said it's time to have you back, and I knew this would be a great combination of people. Before you start talking about the actual bread, just give a shout-out about the upcoming workshops.
Oh, yes. So I give sourdough workshops as well. I actually have one scheduled for May 9, which is next week, Tuesday, if you're in Brooklyn and you want to learn...
I think I might come to that.
If you want to learn about
sourdough. Yeah, I fed my sourdough after Pesach because I didn't feed it for like 3 weeks. It's great. We'll talk about that.
And I'm planning to schedule another one for Sundays if you can do during the week. I got a lot of requests for Sunday morning. Just give me a shout out. Email me at cookwithspicenzest@gmail.com and I will keep you updated. And of course, follow my Instagram at spiceandzest.com, at Spice and Zest.
At Spice and Zest,
At
yeah.
Spice and Zest. And
You take, besides being a really good photographer, your pictures are beautiful.
iPhone.
Yeah, right? And you can
That's
see
it.
that all on iPhone. You can see it all on her
It's
iPhone.
all my iPhone shots. I don't have any big cameras, any fancy cameras yet.
Yet. I don't know if I'm ever going to get one. I've Mel to help.
And yet her photos are gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let's talk about how you got into sourdough for our listeners who are new to the show and haven't met you before. They're now meeting you again. Some of them and some are new.
Right. So I actually got into sourdough, I would say about 4 years ago, maybe, for the same reason that Michelle got into her whole food is because of my husband actually had terrible sciatica.
Really?
I was
Young
looking
guy?
I was looking to cure that. So I changed the whole diet, everything.
How does sciatica and diet fit together? Because sciatica is back pain with nerves.
Sciatica is an inflammation of a nerve.
Okay.
And once you change your diet to whole foods, which is why I love Michelle's way of eating and lifestyle.
A new shidduch was made.
Yes. It just helps with everything. It brought down the inflammation, and there's one thing that we just couldn't give up is bread.
Okay.
So I tried doing gluten-free bread, I tried doing spelt bread, but nothing was as good.
Not the same.
No, so I did more research, and I came across sourdough, which is fermented bread.
What does fermented mean?
Fermented is you don't even use commercial yeast. You make your own yeast. You start by...
It's called a starter.
It's called a starter
You
or
start
a
with
mother.
starter.
Yes. You start by feeding it equal amounts of flour and water by weight for about a week until there's more bacteria that grows on it, and that's what it becomes.
Did you create your own starter?
Yes.
So the starter that I have from you is your starter.
Yes,
And it's
and
about
then-
7 years old, right?
So I started mine about 3.5 or 4 years ago. And then I met someone who had an older starter.
So you
and,
threw it in.
And I threw a little bit in because they say the older it is, the better it is.
Right.
And I definitely see difference. I see difference in my bread every time I bake. It just
Right.
gets better and better.
Every time it's a little bit different, I find my sourdoughs.
Right. Yes. So sourdough is very temperamental.
Yeah.
It's like a baby.
Right, it is.
It works with the weather. If the weather is very hot, it's going to grow way too fast. If it gets cold, you have to keep it in a warm environment. You have to give it some love. You have to keep on feeding it. You have to be on top of it.
It's really my baby. I keep it in a mason jar in the fridge.
Right.
Before
And-
Pesach, I fed it, and after Pesach, I fed it.
Yeah. But it's not hard. Some people just get overwhelmed by
Yeah.
when they find out about it, when they read up about it. I have people email me all the time about it. But once you get into it and it becomes part of your routine, part of your life, it goes. It's so easy to do. It sounds like it's a lot of steps in the beginning, but
You're right. I know. I still, and I've made it maybe 8 times, and I use the proper equipment. I got myself a Dutch oven
oven.
because you cook it in a pot with a lid on it. And I got myself the
you
Benetton
don't have
baskets.
to cook it in a pot with a lid. If you have it, the first 10-15 minutes, it needs some steam. That's what gives it the nice.
Here, put it next to the
crust that you
microphone.
hear.
The crusty. Oh, that's a great sound.
Yeah. So you need the steam for the first, I would say, like 15-20 minutes. The Dutch oven in a home oven, that's the best way to get it done, is by putting a lid onto the Dutch oven, which keeps all the steam in.
Right.
You can also put a sheet pan in the oven and throw in some ice cubes, which creates a little steam.
Oh, that's so
Or
clever.
take a water bottle and spray around on the walls. Careful not to spray on the
bread.
light bulb, because that
Oh,
can
mine
crack.
don't have a light bulb. You must have done that.
Yeah.
Learned the hard way.
It wasn't me, but
I took my light bulbs out. 'cause
I
of
had someone
Shabbos.
who attended my workshop, and she emailed me hysterical. That
Oh, no.
Yeah, that it cracked. But it could be done different ways. It's just the Dutch oven is the easiest, and I find that that's foolproof. Always comes out beautiful. And of course, if you have a steam-injected oven, that's the best.
Oh, who has that? Do you have one of those, Mel? And you got a new oven, a steam-injected oven.
I doubt it. I mean,
You probably wouldn't know
I
about it
would
if
probably
you
know.
had it.
Yeah, my oven's pretty standard. My double ovens are pretty standard. I just got them to match the fridge, so I don't know.
But you would know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but
One
maybe
day. We all hope. I want the oven that one of my clients has, and she said it costs more than a car. I'm like,
The wolf.
Yeah,
The
those
beautiful
big
wolf.
double wolf ovens. Yeah,
I also want that too.
yeah. Okay. All right. One day.
wants it all.
We have to
Hashtag
always
goals.
have goals. We always have to have goals. Okay.
Right.
So, how did you? So you did all your research. You started baking bread, and your husband got better, right?
Yep, he
'Cause
has
we wouldn't
not
be here to tell the
been
tale.
to physical therapy or gotten any cortisone shots. I would say now probably over 3 years.
Because of change in diet.
Yeah, I would say at the same time.
There you go, Michelle.
My
It all ties back to each other.
That's
2-year-old
wonderful
son.
news.
my 2-year-old son had continuous strep. I was back at the doctor literally every 2 to 3 weeks,
Wow.
and I just changed the whole diet at once. And he gets strep maybe once a season. now.
Okay, he's a kid. He goes to school. Okay, that's
Right.
really
But
interesting.
the doctor also said that it something. I'm doing something that cleared him up. So I definitely see a difference with whole eating, whole foods, and the body. How it definitely affects the body,
Right.
and I would say the mind as well.
Definitely.
Okay, so talk about what fermenting actually means in general, right? Like, because I don't think we know enough. Like, a typical person knows enough about fermenting.
Breaks down like if you ferment bread, it breaks down all the flour, the wheat in the bread, and it brings out. Wheat does have a lot of minerals and vitamins and nutrients, which how it's produced today's commercial way, it's when you get a loaf of bread at the grocery store, your body can't digest it and body can't absorb it. What fermenting does, it breaks everything down and it brings out it. So when you eat it, your body can digest the vitamin B, the minerals, whatever else the wheat has. Because if you see, even like years ago, they say that bread was a healthy food, and today everyone's like,
Everyone's
no.
ussel bread, no white bread,
Right,
no bread,
because
no bread.
the way they bake it, the way most bakeries and most people bake it today is more with commercial yeast and the commercial way, which doesn't break down anything, and your body also has a very hard time breaking it down. So when you eat a sourdough bread, your body could digest it much better, break it down, and it's just easier. It doesn't sit in your body versus the other bread, and that's what causes inflammation.
Right. So, but people also do vegetables as well, I guess, for the same reason.
Right, and it
Maybe
also,
bread.
yeah, and it also it helps with probiotics. It has a lot of probiotics, especially fermented vegetables and kombucha. All these
What's
kombucha is
kombucha?
fermented tea. I've never tried it, but it's on my list to do.
Okay, we
It's
have
a
to
tough
do it
one.
now.
Yeah, I'm not a big
It's a tough
fan.
taste.
My sister-in-law is obsessed. She loves everything fermented. She's a huge. She just loves. Yeah, everything she eats is fermented. 'Cause
So-
it's good
Like
for her
pickles!
gut, and
Right.
sauerkraut also.
But the
is that
pickles
also?
today, sauerkraut, if it's done without vinegar, even
Yeah.
the pickles today, if it's the regular pickles they sell with vinegar is not fermented.
Really? Oh, I pickled the other day. I don't know if anyone's on my Insta
Yeah, I
story.
saw
Some
that.
with my mum.
Yeah.
You
some-
definitely use vinegar.
I
right?
definitely
Yeah,
use
okay.
vinegar.
So I
Yeah.
do pickles. I do pickled vegetables only with salt. There is a ratio of salt to water, and I let it ferment for at least a month on the counter before I use it.
Did you sterilize your jars? Yes. I sterilize my jars and I put them in the fridge. But if you don't leave them on the counter, right?
I
you put
actually
it in the
have
fridge, You
fermented-
don't have to.
I actually
Sterilize.
have fermented
Lemons and limes.
Bring it.
limes.
Can we
This is
try
amazing.
some?
And they smell. No, they're not ready yet, right?
You could try it, but they're not fully ready yet because I didn't have enough time.
Oh, so what's this? Lime.
This is limes, and here we got lemon.
Is there one for me, one for you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I would leave them. I don't think it. I mean, my opinion. I think that you would want to let it go for a
So
while,
I like
right?
when it goes at least for a month
Yeah.
before I use it. I keep it on the counter. This is a great flavor enhancer without adding
For what?
that extra
What
sugar,
do you
ketchup.
What are you adding into mayo?
I put
Make
this.
a sauce?
I put this
do you do with
into.
this?
I put this into my salads, my salad dressings, my hummus.
What, you
my,
cut up the limes?
Yeah, you use the peel as well. The
Ah.
peel is the main thing. If you find it too salty, you could rinse it a little bit, and then use it. It's
put those
great. I made one day.
Even the bag says Whole Foods.
Yeah. One day I made sous vide chicken breast. I put in the lime in there. It was really good.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So I saw Danielle Renov make it on in her Instagram story from Peas, Love and Carrots. And, I saw the whole process with the salt and but I still never followed up. Maybe I missed that part of the story. I didn't. But what do you do with it? Like you cut the whole thing up and just put it in
Yes.
food?
You put it into everything. I use
And
it
it's
in
not
everything.
bitter. Why is it
No,
not bitter?
because when you ferment it, it gets that sweet, lemony, citrusy flavor.
I guess onions, when you marinate them, taste completely
Right.
different than raw.
Yeah. So if you want, it's called preserved limes, preserved lemons.
Right.
If
You've
you
seen a
search
lot
it
of
on-
Israeli cooking.
Right. So I find it gives so much flavor to everything. I love adding that. I love adding herbs, lemon zest to everything, spice and zest.
Spicy and zesty.
Yeah. I find that that's what
bread.
really gives great flavor to everything without adding all that extra junk.
Right. By using naturally made,
Yeah.
man-made flavor enhancers. I love that. I love that. Okay, we're going to cut up a little
Let's
bit of
try
that
to
bread.
Cut it with this knife.
We need a big fat bread knife. Oh, that's a pretty good knife there. I actually washed before the show because I know when you have chaiseri on, there's going to be bread coming. She didn't brush any butter this time because we told her we're like, on a bit of a diet.
Yeah, Chaiseri makes the best homemade butter.
Wow.
Yeah, like
That's so
yeah,
good.
Amazing. So I felt like we needed to, tuck into that bread. Might be really good with a salad, also a salad sandwich. This looks great.
Salad sandwich.
Yeah.
Wait, go for it, Naomi.
Wait, can I just say also one thing? I love crust. So whenever my husband cuts the challah up on Shabbos, he always says before he passes it around, he always makes sure that he's put aside crust for me. I love this. This is gorgeous. There is something so special about the crust of bread. My kids don't like the crust, and they eat the inside of the challah. So I get to eat everyone's crust on the table. Okay, you're going to hear the crunch. You ready? Can you hear it?
Oh my god.
Crunch, crunch. Oh, my God. It's not normal. That was for my son-in-law, that one. Not normal. He always says, I always say not normal. This is not normal.
It's so good.
The best bread I ever tasted.
Oh my
Really?
God.
I make sourdough at home. Not this level.
But Chaiseri's made it with chocolate and cherry flavor. She's made it in all kinds.
Lemon, garlic.
You name it. Okay, ZK, you're getting a grosser piece of bread. Has everyone had salad? Oh, you already had
I
the
gave
salad.
to ZK already.
Okay, so that's maybe your salad then. Okay, terrific. This is amazing. This is good, clean eating. We're eating bread, and that's okay because it's sourdough bread. I was actually at Zach the Baker. Big shout out to them. Oh my God! So I asked he wasn't there, and I asked the ladies who were behind the counter. I'm like, does he sell the starter? I want to buy some of his starter. I wanted to bring us some back. But they said, no, he doesn't do that. I'm like, oh, probably has a whole secret, dark place that he keeps it all and, doesn't let anyone in down to his cellar.
He posted the beginning of the year, I think it was maybe in November or October, there was a storm coming. So he posted how he sent home a little starter with all of his workers, just in case one of them get ruined. They have backup in everyone's fridge.
It's like it's really something very special, a really good starter.
Yeah.
So mine is from yours, and you're saying it's 4 years old?
It's
3.
7.5.
So now
I would say
'cause
probably
you got
8.5 years old because I got from someone and I added.
So we keep aging it.
Yeah.
So if we get really old starter, what do they call it? Mother wheat. The mother wheat.
Yeah.
Well, they say the mother wheat actually came from Israel. Did you know that?
Yeah.
When I was in Israel about a year and a half ago.
Melech.
Right. I went to Pat Bamelech in Israel. An amazing hands-on bakery workshop run by David Katz and his wife. I'm blanking out her name. I apologize. You can look it up online, patbamelech.com. You can have a sourdough workshop with your family, a whole bread baking workshop with your family.
I want that slicer.
It's in Gush Etzion.
You posted
my
that
slice. That was
slicer.
my slicer from when I worked on that kibbutz. It was on a kibbutz, Rosh Sarim. It was there. It was a kibbutz until not that long ago, and I worked on the kibbutz with my cousin, a religious kibbutz. And I worked there for a few weeks in the summer because the Australians go to Israel January to January, so we have the summer in Israel, and we had a great time slicing bread. That was my love affair with bread. Right, Israel has the best bread. It's very hard. You go to Israel, they sit down, they put all this crazy bread in front of you. So this year on the trip, I didn't want to gain so much weight, so I said I tried not to eat the bread. The last 2 days, I said I'll Too bad.
So good.
I started eating it. But so when I was in Shiloh, at the Shiloh winery with Amichai Luria, he told me that the mother wheat of the original wheat that they use in the world was from Israel.
That is so interesting.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know how, correct that exactly is, but usually what Amichai says works by me. And there is like little Hindi waking up over there. I told Chai story. She goes, I've got the baby. I don't know if I can come in. I said, you can come in. We are all mums. If you need to hold the baby during the show, that's okay because that's what we do.
Right.
So, okay, there's so much food here in front of me between the bread and the Buddha. This is a
they're
Buddha
all
plate.
whole food.
This is a Buddha
So
plate.
it became a Buddha plate, but
A
it's
Buddha
just
plate.
as good.
Oh, I don't doubt it for a second. Oh, and Melinda's getting all clucky with the baby. Oh, so cute.
I don't know how I feel about babies.
Yeah. Mel's like the granny. She likes to hold them and then give them back when they cry. Yeah. So cute. So cute. They grow up so fast. And about feeding them right and keeping them healthy. This is like, a show all about, sound minds, sound bodies, So we're having a great time over here eating. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about some of your food philosophy with the bread and sharing and everything that you do.
Well, my food philosophy is cook good, cook healthy,
Right.
whole foods, and share it with everyone. Share the love.
Share the love. I love that. Something about bread. Chai Suri never goes anywhere without bringing bread.
Yeah. I always have my starter, and I always have bread in the fridge ready to bake at any time, fermenting in my fridge. I sometimes let my breads ferment for 72 hours or even 3-4 days.
But once I let mine sit in the fridge for a very long time, or on the counter for a very long time,
The
then it was
counter,
like
the counter is going to fall
it was
down.
focaccia, basically.
Right. So that's if you leave it too warm. Then, it grows and then it falls down.
It was delicious, but it was focaccia. It
Yeah.
was nice and flat.
Yeah, so I always have a loaf in the fridge ready to bake at any time. The longer you let it ferment, the more it breaks down, the easier it is. And I've had some customers who are celiac. I wouldn't recommend it for celiac because I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, and I don't know these things. But I did have someone who said that they were able to have sourdough bread that was fermented for at least 72 hours.
There you go. Very specific.
Yeah, she said that if it was less than that, then she still felt it. I had someone with Crohn's who came to me and said that this was the only bread they were able to eat.
Right.
So it does help a lot. It helps out with people who can't have other foods.
Right.
But like I said, I'm not a nutritionist,
Right.
so
No,
I
she's
can't.
She's putting in
Yeah.
her legal clause. Right. We're doing
Right. So I can't say what would work and what wouldn't work, but if you want, you can try it.
Right. I always say if you try it, let me know how it goes. I think it's so great. It's so exciting. If people
Right.
want to get into bread baking, sign up for Chai Suri's workshops. You can spiceandzest.com. And you can, is there a link for that?
I will put in a link.
You should put in a link, right?
Yeah.
Or what's your website, your email again?
Cook with Spice and Zest.
Cook with
at
Spices.
gmail.com.
Yeah. To sign up for the workshops. I think, even though I've already done a workshop with poor Chai Suri tried to teach me, Melinda. No, Mel wasn't there. Me, Deanie,
My kid had
and
so-
Miriam.
Pascal.
And we did not stop talking.
we had so much
We had
fun.
so much fun with Deanie. That was great. We need another summer workshop.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Buddha Bowl workshop.
Definitely.
That would be great. All right. So even people in this industry are always looking to learn more and more
Yes,
and more.
I'm
So,
always looking out there for more.
everyone, this has been an amazing show. I told you it's going to be packed with so much stuff with Melinda, Michelle, and Chai Suri talking about all the things that we're passionate about, food, and we hope you had an exciting show I hope you enjoyed the exciting show as much as we enjoyed making it. Okay, Shavuos is coming up. We've got a lot going on the next couple of weeks, so I hope you'll tune in every week. Our show is sponsored by Marzipan Bakery. One taste says it all. We have music sponsored by our friends at Ketup right up until Lichtbenching. We have Mark Zomik's live lunch. Wishing everybody Shabbat Shalom, happy